What's good, YouTube? Prince here. Haven't uploaded in a while. I'm gonna try and be more consistent, but I probably won't. So, I just wanted to do a quick video regarding rank inflation in Tekken 8. I know there's a lot of people talking about, is it actually real? Is it just coping? Are people actually just getting better? Or are people getting hard carried by, like, the top tier characters like Fang, Dragunov, Link, Xiaoyu, you name it. Shit, not even gonna lie, even Nina's kind of up there. Even though I love Nina, I play Nina, I love her, but Nina is really strong in this game. She's definitely top 5 at minimum, top 3 in my opinion. But besides the point, is rank inflation real? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes and no, but it's complicated. So for the most part, I gotta admit, with Tekken 8, this game's doing well. It's selling a lot. Like, I believe it sold faster in its first month than Tekken 7, which is amazing. Tekken 7 is hands down probably the Tekken game that did the best and really broke Tekken into the esports limelight. But aside from that, I would want to say I saw Mayman's video regarding rank inflation. I definitely love Mayman's content. And I found myself agreeing with most of what he was saying in that video, actually. I agree with a lot of his points. He made really good points regarding rank inflation, but I didn't agree with everything. See, there definitely is rank inflation in this game, but it's... I want to say with fighting games in general, there always comes a point called, I like to call it the fall-off period, where, no, it doesn't refer to, like, it having the lowest amount of player base first time. When I say the fallout period, I mean, with this game, first off, there's a huge numbers of people playing the game, more than Tag 2, Tekken 6. And I think a lot of times when we talk about rank inflation, I think a lot of people are stuck in the ways where, like, let's say you've been playing this game since Tekken Tag 2. Now, I started off in Tekken Tag 2, and if you're one of the viewers watching this that started off in Tekken Tag 2, or maybe you started off in Tekken Revolution, maybe you started off in C6, I would want to say Tag 2 is where rank really became, like, a proving ground. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you play Tekken Tag 2, ranked back then, if you could make it to red ranks in Tag 2, you were considered an amazing player. You're considered a high-level player. Tag 2 didn't do well. And see, now you gotta listen to me, because here where I'm gonna make the comparison between Tag 2 and Tekken 8 to explain rank inflation and why some of it isn't actually rank inflation. If you go in Google right now, Tag 2 actually had, I believe, one of the lowest sales. Tag 2 is one of the worst selling Tekken games of all time, actually. No disrespect to the game, it's just true. And I think because the player base was so small and so condensed, that reaching higher rank was harder, because the smaller the pool of players there are, the higher the chance you're going to run into actually good players that actually know what they're doing. They know the matchup, they know how to punish, they know which highs to direct, they know which direction to step a character, all that good stuff. So when the player base is a lot smaller, you increase the chance of running into good players. Wait, did he turn on special style? Never mind. And with that being said, reaching higher ranks would be a lot harder, because a player would have to be a lot stronger to reach those ranks. And let's be honest, in like Tag 2, the highest rank I saw was like Emperor, because like there wasn't that many people playing the game. Like, if you wanted to go higher past FUJIN in Tag 2, you would have to legitimately schedule deathmatches. You'd have to go and find someone on the leaderboard and go and try and schedule a deathmatch. That's how serious it was. Like, I don't think Tag 2 was a game. I don't think anybody reached True Tekken God legitimately. If they were True Tekken God in Tag 2, they were probably a booster, because there just wasn't simply enough players to reach that set rank. And with that being said, like, red rank was like the proving ground. Red ranks back then in Tag 2 were a lot better. You can't even compare red ranks in Tag 2 to red ranks in Tekken 7 or Tekken 8. This is completely ballpark. The red ranks in Tag 2 would probably be seen somewhere around... I want to say the red ranks in Tag 2 would be somewhere seen around, like, at least maybe Tekken God rank, something like that. But as Tekken 7 began to get more popular and more people started playing it, we had a higher influx of players. Now, with that being said, regarding what I was talking about with the smaller pool base of players having like a lot of the killers in that tank, when you put more fishes in the tank, the food chain changes drastically. Like now, someone that, let's say, wasn't that, say someone that was just an okay Tekken player, a decent Tekken player, whatever you guys think a decent Tekken player looks like, let's just say someone that got a little better, but not that much better, that was maybe hard stuck in, like, let's say, hard stuck at like Pugilist or Vanquisher in Tag 2, they would probably now in Tekken 7, especially with the changes they made to rank, they'd be at least somewhere at FUJIN or up. Like, you know what I mean? They'd be at least FUJIN or up. And that's not because they're like they're a bad player per se. It's more so because now, since there's more players to fight, it's like a food chain. Now the people that were veterans, that were never high-level players, but they were veterans because they were playing the game for a while, they now have an edge over the people that just started playing Tekken. And now those players that were hard stuck in, let's say, orange ranks are ranking up off of the people that are legitimate newcomers in. So obviously they have an advantage. And now the people that were, I want to say, a tier higher than veteran players are ranking up off the veterans. So now those veterans that were at a decent skill level or at FUJIN, then the people that are slightly above them are going to rank up off of them and probably enter maybe, let's say, Emperor, Tekken King, and the people above them are going to be like the real high level players, the pro players. They're obviously going to reach max rank regardless. And if you remember closely, towards the end cycle, like I always say with Tekken, the most competitive cycle for Tekken is the first 6 weeks of the game. The first 6 weeks of Tekken are always the most brutal. Like those are when you run into high players like constantly, right? Because they have not yet reached the highest rank yet. They're still playing just like everybody else. So you have a higher chance of running into high level players. Like it's hard to gauge what's really high rank or low rank versus the first 6 weeks of the game. But I'd always say the first 6 weeks of the game is brutal because like you have a really high chance of running into like god rank players that you might not even know are going to even make it to God of Destruction. You might run into a pro player and you don't even know they're a pro player. Maybe you didn't hear about them yet or whatnot. So you can't really say it's rank inflation at that point. And besides, with more players that we get in Tekken, obviously, and not to mention Tekken 8, this game has less ranks than Tekken 7. Tekken 7, at least, I think once you made it past,
get ready for the next battle.
I think once you made it out of Warrior in Tekken 7, each rank tier had at least 4 tiers, had at least 4 ranks in each tier. Now in Tekken 8, most of the tiers only have like 3 ranks. Like there's only, I think Blue rank is the only rank in Tekken 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. Blue rank is the only rank in Tekken 8 that actually has 4 tiers of ranks. I believe it goes Fujin, Raijin, Kishin, and then Bussen or Fushin, or whatever you pronounce it. Every other tier rank is only like 3 tiers. Even I believe Tekken God, like Tekken God Supreme, God of Destruction, 3 tiers. And it was like that for everybody else. So, short answer, there really isn't rank inflation if you consider the amount of players that are playing the game. We have a bigger full base of players playing the game. So more players means it's going to be technically easier to rank up, but that shouldn't translate to rank inflation. I'd only say the rank is inflated when the amount of players is, extremely offset by like how many people are high ranked. But I wouldn't consider that rank inflation. But where I would consider it to be inflated ranks is that the level of skill for a lot of these players just isn't really corresponsive to their rank. I mean, if you're at Tekken God Supreme, there's only 1 rank left. That's where I'm sitting at currently before I go and hit God of Destruction, which I will. I just haven't been playing Tekken 8 as much because this game's pretty stressful, and I'm not really the biggest fan of the heat mechanics in this game, but it's still a good game. I can't take that away. So if this game had a lot smaller base of players, rank would be a lot more competitive in the sense that like nobody would be complaining about rank inflation. But I would say since we have a lot of players, that's why you might hear people saying, "Oh my gosh, the ranks are inflated. There's too many people at like Tekken God and above." Or I think nowadays people are actually saying Tekken King is the new FUJIN, which is honestly kind of crazy. People are saying Tekken King or Tekken Emperor is the new FUJIN. Now, there is some truth to it. I would definitely say the skill level for Tekken King. I cannot tell the skill level between a FUJIN player versus a Tekken King. I would say, I don't know, I think it's a little disrespectful to say Tekken King's the new FUJIN, but I understand where people are coming from. I would say from Kishin to Tekken King is the new blue ranks. Like, I'd say Tekken King is the new Bushin. I'd say because I would say, I'm not even trying to be rude or anything, but I legitimately, as a player, and I have multiple god ranks at this game. I'm very proficient at this game. I legitimately play a lot of ranks. I play multiple characters in the god ranks, and no joke, I cannot tell the difference between a Kishin, a Bushin, a Tekken King, and sometimes a Tekken Emperor. I cannot tell the difference between the skill level of those 4 ranks because they do all play very similar. They take a lot of risk, they do a lot of risky moves, they have bad defense. I have a habit of checking people's stats every time after a match, and I've noticed for Tekken King and Tekken Emperor, the average stat I see for those people at those ranks is 50 defense. Like 48 to 56 defense. Now, I know some people might say, "Oh, the stats, you can't like always go off the stats," but I only pay attention to defense stats, and I would say 9 out of 10 times the defense stats are accurate. Like, they're very accurate. Most people that have stats like that, they have poor defense, they result in a lot of panicky moves. They all have a very they have a very weak flowchart that once you catch on to their flowchart, they just instantly lose the match, and they're just unable to come back. So, I don't know, this video kind of turned more into a rant video, but I was just offering, reasons why people could see that the ranks might be inflated and reasons why they're not inflated. Plus side, there's a lot of players, so obviously there's more players, there's going to be more people ranking up faster than any other Tekken game, because we never had a Tekken game with a player base so vast. Now, I know Mayman mentioned that, there isn't rank inflation because there isn't rank inflation because a lot of the newer players have stopped playing the game. So therefore, we're only left with the hardcore players. And I completely disagree with that. I see where Mayman was coming from this, but hardcore player doesn't necessarily translate to skill level. You can be like hardcore means like you really mess with the game, like you really love the game, you're constantly playing Tekken. And I think what Mayman forgets to realize is that like a lot of people that play Tekken aren't good at the game, aren't high level players. And when I mean high level players, I'm not talking about high ranked players. I'm talking about people that can play the game on a high level. There's not many fighting games where the player base is extremely high level for like the average player, which just makes sense. So when he said like, oh, a lot of the newer players stopped playing, that's a lie. The newer players are still playing this game. They are definitely, let me tell you, they are still playing the game. Yes, we dropped a little bit of their player base, but the new players are still playing the game. The reason why they're still playing the game is because this game has a lot of positive incentives for people to continue playing the game. Because there's so much positive reinforcement in this game, because this is a Tekken game where Warrior is pretty much the starting rank in this game. If you play Tekken, you're guaranteed to hit Warrior, right? And this is the first Tekken game in history where you cannot get demoted past Warrior. So everybody just starts off at Warrior. I believe the ranks would look a lot less inflated had their... Oh wow, you can't watch old replays. I gotta make sure to delete these, holy. Oh shit, I better back these up. We're gonna have an update soon. That's crazy. My fault. I didn't know. Oh shit, my bad. I'm just trying to have some gameplay in the back while I talk, so you know, it's not boring or anything. But yeah, as I was saying, if we're, I know a lot of people say rank's inflated, but if we just stop thinking, if we just all acknowledge the fact that rank starts at warrior for most people, like warrior could be the new, I don't know, warrior could be the new second dan or something, whatever you want to call it, and then we just start from there, then rank wouldn't really seem that inflated. And also, I'd also like to say that the bouncing in this game is really bad, especially at launch. It's a bit better now, like I definitely think this game's in the right direction now. But, holy, I don't need to tell you, Dragunov players were running amok for the first 2 months of the game. It was crazy. A lot of players were in high rank positions. Had they not been in that position, they were not playing a top tier character like Dragunov, Bang, Xiao Yu. Oh gosh. But you know, I don't really want to rant about the top tiers that much because tier lists are a bit subjective to people, but I think we'd all agree that, you know, Dragunov and Bang are, they speak for themselves. I don't need to say anything about it. Well, I think that the rank inflation will, or when I say rank inflation, I say that in quotations because, you know, I'm not even too sure if the rank inflation really is as real as I'd say it is. I say it definitely exists. Like, I'd say there's definitely, you know, noticeable inflation, but I don't think it's as bad as what people are saying it is. But when people are like, I'm not gonna lie, I remember I was watching a Moonsault video, and I think he was like, what was the comment? Like, they're making talk. It was about Lily and how like people were saying, "Oh my God, Lily is top tier," which I don't agree at all. Lily is a good character, but she's not even top 5. Trust me, Lily is not even top 10. And I play the character. I play 80% of the characters in this game, so I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. Yeah. Lily's good, but she's not that good. Trust me, she's not that good. And when people, I remember he was showing people's comments about it, and then one guy was saying like, "Oh, Lily is overpowered," or whatever. And this is the part I remember. This guy's response was like, "Damn, this guy must be FUJIN." And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. This guy was just like, "Damn, he must be FUJIN or something."
Get ready for the next
you know what I mean? Like, ranks are so inflated, and like a lot of people were like giving that comment like thumbs up. Like, people really see ranks so inflated to say something like, "Oh, that guy definitely has to be FUJIN or Tekken King." Like, let's do the math. Tekken King is the 5th highest rank in the game. And there's Tekken Emperor, that's 1. There's Tekken God, 2. Tekken God Supreme, 3. And then God of Destruction. After that, so there's only 4 ranks left after you hit Tekken King. And what makes it so crazy is we're at the point where people are really starting to say, "Damn, you must be FUJIN, or you must be hard stuck Tekken King." And it's like, that's crazy, because man, and then the other day people are saying Tekken Emperor is the new FUJIN. You know what I mean? It's the new FUJIN or the new green rank. And at Tekken Emperor, there's only 3 ranks above you before you're done with the game as far as rank is concerned. I wonder, is this gonna keep escalating to the point where like it's like, damn, if somebody says a bad take that you don't agree with, are people gonna start saying, "Damn, that guy must be Tekken God Supreme"? You know what I mean? Like people really gonna be like, "Damn, bro, he's really hard. He's really Tekken God Supreme, bro. Trash. He's only Tekken God Supreme, trash. He's only Tekken God, trash." Like there's really not many ranks left, my guy, at that point. Like, are we gonna reach the point where we're gonna have Tekken players be like, "Damn, bro. Well, what's your rank? Oh, you're only God of Destruction? Trash." You know what I mean? Like, our ranks are really that inflated to the point where we're gonna be like, "Damn, bro, like, dude, like, what is this guy talking about? Like, bad take? You must be at least Tekken God Supreme." Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not like the 2nd highest rank in the game. But I think a lot of it just comes from frustration. I think the devs just need to do a better job balancing the game. I think what it really is that a lot of people have an emotional attachment to this game since, you know, Tekken is like Tekken is life to a lot of these players. And before I get sidetracked again, referring to Mayman's comment about like the hardcore players are the ones still playing the game. Like a lot of the hardcore players are the people that suck at the game. And I'm not saying this to be an elitist or toxic or anything. I just think when it comes to Tekken or fighting games in general, a lot of people have trouble admitting to the skill level that they truly are. Like when I say suck, I'm not even trying to be toxic. I'm saying I notice the thing with a lot of Tekken players is a lot of them cannot admit that they're not as good as they think they are. Like a lot of them are kind of like stuck in their ways where like, oh no, I'm like this or I'm like that, and I think a lot of that comes from a lot of that comes from like the dopamine rush of ranking up. I think this is a Tekken game where people are reaching their highest ranks that they've never ever reached before in a Tekken game, and I do think a lot of that can be contributed to them being better at the game than they were in previous installments. But as someone that plays rank a lot, and I was Tekken God Prime in T7. I had like 400k Tekken Prime, so I was playing rank with so many characters. One thing I've noticed is like most people that play Tekken, they stagnate. They get better, and then they get to a certain point where they just cease getting better. They don't lab any matchups. They don't lab characters. They don't realize that they're bad habits. They don't even see their own flowcharts. So then when you do beat their flowcharts, like let's say, I don't know, I beat up a flowcharting Nina that's doing down for one. I keep ducking the second hit, I launch her. Or she's just playing really gimmicky. She's throwing out reverse I launch punish it every time. And the thing about flowcharts is a lot of people build their flowcharts on what's been working, on what works for them, what's carried them to the rank that they're currently at. So once you start beating their flowcharts, two things happen. They either adapt, which isn't what happens for most players, or they get a little emotional and upset, and they just keep doing it. And then when they're losing, it's like, the connection, or this guy's playing a top tier character, he's cheap. But in reality, the person just sucks. You suck and you're just flowcharting. But that's okay though. Most players suck. That's perfectly fine. Like most players are either okay, decent, bad, or good. Like that's it. There's no issue with admitting that, you know, you're not as good at the game as you think you are, and that's perfectly fine. But I think a lot of people need to get out of that mindset of thinking that they're a lot better than what they really are. And understand maybe they're at the rank they're at for that reason, or maybe, you know, maybe they're getting carried, or maybe they're not as optimal as they think they are. Itty bitty stuff like that, maybe they need to learn the matches. Whatever you want to say. But for when Mayman said the hardcore players are still playing the game, the new players stopped, the new players kept playing the game because I've seen so many videos of people, newer players, praising Tekken. I've seen people turn into like Tekken content creators that were never uploading Tekken videos before, but the positive reinforcement for playing this game is so high because it's very easy to rank up with the heat mechanic. It can close the gap between like players that, you know, typically would be in one-sided matchups. So it's giving people like this dopamine rush of thinking that they're better than what they really are. And the positive, especially when the positive reinforcement, I think Namco was smart for making it so people couldn't demote past Warrior. Because the thing about understanding people is incentives. So when you give people the incentive of like, listen, you can't get demoted past this rank, and they're only seeing positive results, they're only seeing positive reinforcement, you're more likely to keep playing a game that's rewarding, that's giving you constant positive reinforcement. So much so to the point where like once the positive reinforcement wears off, and let's say they've reached a point where they're struggling, they're already locked in. They're already gonna keep playing the game. They're locked in. They're not going anywhere. They're still playing the game. I still see new players still continuously playing the game, streaming the game. I be lurking in their streams and stuff, and they're still having a blast playing the game. And they're still also ranking up too. Every once in a while you can check in with these players and they'll be like 4 ranks higher than they were like maybe in the last 3 weeks or so. And most of the players that are considered hardcore players are just people that really like Tekken. And they might not be that good at the game, but they still keep playing the game. And now they're reaching an even higher rank than, like, people even openly admit that, like, yo, I don't even think I should be at the rank I'm at. If it wasn't for X, Y, and Z, or if it wasn't for this character or Heat. So, in that sense, I guess, damn, I guess there really is rank inflation. You do look at it like that. But I'm saying, if there is rank inflation, it makes sense. We have a higher player base. We have brand new mechanics in the game that, you know, close the gap between players, makes it a lot easier for players to challenge and press buttons in this game and disrespect frames. So it makes sense why people are climbing to ranks. I think the balancing definitely needs work. I mean, the top 3 characters in this game are just amazing. So what's really the point of this video? I just realized I've been ranting for like 26 minutes plus. Honestly, I guess this video just straight up turned into a rant. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there and explain how I feel about quote-unquote rank inflation. Is it real? Yeah, it's kind of real, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's real, but it's not as bad as what people are saying if you look at the circumstances that led to this. You know, higher player base, new mechanic that makes offense a lot more impressive. Super top tier characters off rip that have just been dominating. It makes sense. Like, you can't get mad at the players. I mean, it's just the way the game is right now. I do think this game made a lot of right decisions. I think this game made a lot of good choices in their, you know, attempt to rank. But I also would like to say that the fact that when you demote in this game, your next match is a promotion match. You know, you don't start from scratch when you get demoted in this game. So that's another thing that could contribute to rank inflation. Because now people are getting demoted and staying in the same rank. They're getting demoted and they're ranking up, getting demoted and ranking back up. So they alternate, they stay in that same rank. Which also allows other players that are much better than that player to feed off of their points and rank up a lot faster. That may not be that good at the game, but they're at least better than their opponent. I think it's more so it doesn't really matter if you're not that good at the game, as long as you're better than your opponent and you can consistently beat them more times than they can beat you, you are going to rank up, and that's just a fact. But I have hope. This game is going to have a new defense patch update, which comes out on June 11th. I think they're going to give us the preview build for like what changes they're going to make in the patch notes on Monday, this Monday, on June 10th. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I believe they're addressing throws, tracking. They're going to get rid of heat doing wall crush if you do like a heat dash at the wall, plus 18. If you do a heat dash mid-screen, you're only plus 5. So I think they're going to change it so now you're only plus 5 at the wall instead of being considered a wall crush, which is amazing. I'm happy for that. And I think Tekken is all really on the right track to, you know, make the best changes that it is. I think this game's going to be amazing. I mean, I already think this game is amazing. Kind of tiresome when I do take a break. I don't play this game as much as I normally do. I maybe only play it maybe once or twice a week, and only for an hour or so. Which is why I haven't reached Guide Destruction, but I will next time I start playing again. But aside from that, just let me know. Do you guys think rank inflation is real? I kind of rambled on for like a huge time. I didn't even have no script or anything for this video. I just started recording and I just started fucking talking. I ain't gonna lie. I just started talking. I was like, alright, whatever. But yeah. I ain't really got much shit to say. I kind of just rambled the entire fucking time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Follow me on Twitch, all that good stuff. I'm just trying to upload more videos. I think I'm trying to upload more guides on how to play Tekken, character guides, stuff like that. If you're interested in that, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, and I'm out.